All right, folks, this is Tahir, your host again at JustBusinessTalk. So today's episode is different. I'm in Italy, and I've been here for holiday for a few days, and a very dear friend of mine from last 13 years, he lives in Rome. So we are out on a long drive. We're going to Florence for a day. Then we thought, okay, why don't we take this opportunity and record this episode where we can discuss about life, about business, and so many other things. So this is going to be different than all my other podcasts. When I do, it's all about acquisitions, all about business. But today we will talk about business as well, but we're going to talk about life as well. So with me today is Max Manaf, and let's start the conversation. Max, how are you doing?
I'm good, Tahir. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So for my listeners who don't know you, tell us, who is Max Manaf?
Well, if you start recording this, you could end up in Norway and I will still not finish.
Right.
So this is a long
That's what
story.
I know. That's I know. So people who don't know, they will know by end of this podcast that you are right.
Why don't we break it down into segments, maybe time-wise,
Right.
and start from maybe 50 years ago or something.
Yeah, that's, you leave it to me. I'm the host.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I can talk about whatever. Yeah. So tell us, Max. So you left Pakistan. You born in Pakistan, and then you left in early 80s.
Yes.
Right, for US.
Yes.
So how old were you?
Well, when I left Pakistan, I was 18 years old, almost 18 years old.
Right.
I had finished high school and I was in a college, and I decided to leave, and just on my own, I did everything. I applied at different universities and gave the TOEFL exam, got the admission, got the visa to go to the US, and went there.
Why US?
Good question. Well, my impression of US was very different that time. As a young kid also, I enjoyed watching the American politics, especially Ronald Reagan in those days, and what happened with Nixon. Even though I was a young kid, I was really fascinated with the whole American system. And in those days, to get higher education, America was the best option.
Right. Okay. So how did you get to America? You obviously you got a student visa. So what was the process like back then?
Now, it will be difficult for your listeners to imagine that, but let's say, first of all, imagine no internet, no mobile phones,
Right.
nothing, okay? Not even a fax machine.
Right.
So first I went to the American Embassy in Karachi,
Right.
and I got a list of the American universities. From that list, I handpicked some universities based on some knowledge I had from the library, and I wrote one letter in nice, good handwriting.
Right.
Then I recruited my younger brother, and I said to him, look, I'll give you 1 rupee per letter.
Right.
Write me 10 letters like this.
Okay.
So basically, he was
And he
my-
agreed.
He agreed.
Right.
Basically,
Right. Okay.
didn't have photocopiers also. I mean,
Right.
there were some, but not easily available. So I wrote about 10 to 15 letters, and then patiently waited.
Right.
It took maybe a couple of months to get the response back from the universities by
Right.
mail. And I still remember the postman, when he came to our house, he would usually drop the letters and leave.
Right.
That day he knocked the door and he waited for my mother.
Right.
And when my mother came, he said to her in our language that you have a letter from United States of America.
Right. So it was a surprise for
It was a
her.
big surprise
So
for
she
her.
didn't know anything.
Yeah, she didn't know anything,
Right.
and she had no idea. So anyway, I got the applications.
What was her reaction like?
She was surprised, but then she thought, he's just a kid, he's
Right.
So I told her I'm going to US, and she said, okay, whatever, Like, she thought it's just something I'm saying, and I'm not serious about it. So anyway, I filled up those applications, I fulfilled the requirements,
Right.
and then I got the admission, and the university sent me an I-20, it's a document that you get based on which you can apply for a visa.
Right.
And then in those days, the mayor of Karachi was a good friend of my father. He gave me a recommendation letter. I took it to the embassy, got the visa. Now, once I got the visa, then I told my mom, okay, Mom, I'm ready to go. then she realized, oh, this is serious. You know? So
Yeah.
she called my uncle. My father
Right.
had passed away a couple of years before.
Right. Okay.
So she called my uncle and she explained that to him. My uncle meaning my father's
So
father.
you're elder in the family, right?
I was the eldest in the family.
So
Brothers,
the motivation for you to move to US for
Yeah.
one reason was to do for the family, for the younger brother, set an example. That was the motivation.
That was
as
one
well
of the
somewhere.
motivation. Yeah.
To be an example.
So then my uncle said to my mother, oh, just tear his passport. He's too young to go anywhere.
Right.
And then I don't know what my mother thought, and she said, no. If he has done so much work to get the admission, get the visa and everything,
Right.
then I'm going to let him go.
Okay.
And then she paid for my university fee and she paid for my ticket, and that's how I landed in US.
Great. Okay, so you landed in US. So how much money you had when you landed in US? How much you cash on you?
I had maybe $50 or $100 on me,
Right.
and I was lucky. I had a one-way ticket.
Okay.
One-way meaning from Karachi to New York. If I had a return ticket,
Yeah.
I would return back in 3 days.
Right.
Because
Okay.
it was my first time away from home, away from
So
my
you had no
family.
choice
I had no choice.
but to just get settled.
Yeah, I had a $30,000 cashier's check payable to the university, but
Right.
nothing cash on me.
Okay, so you knew people, you had family there,
I didn't
no
know
friends, nothing. So you just
didn't know a single person.
landed to another
And
country,
landed in another country. In
Right.
another country, at the airport, I had this limousine service called
Right.
Bridgeport Limousine. They came to pick me up from the university,
Uh-huh.
and I went to Yale University.
Right.
And when I got there, my room and board was paid for. I had my room,
Right.
and surprisingly, the campus was empty because I got there in August.
Right.
There was not a single soul, and I was really depressed. I would cry every night.
Uh-huh.
God, how can I go home?
Right.
And I went to the bursar's office and
Yeah.
gave them the $30,000 check,
Right.
out of which 25,000 or something like that was for the university, and 4,000 was for me. Now remember,
Yeah.
this is
$30,000 was back then
this
was a
is
lot of
80s,
money.
okay?
Yeah, it was
Imagine
a lot of money.
if you from Pakistan, imagine that a dollar was
Yeah.
10 rupees. So
Yeah.
10 rupees would buy you a dollar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, and the bursar said, okay, no problem, we'll give the difference, but only once this check clears,
Right.
and that could take 2-3 months.
Okay.
So I didn't have a choice, and I just was very
So
depressed.
was it a cultural shock for you? To
Big shock I hear.
So-
In many ways. I mean, I came from Karachi, and I came from
Right.
a typical family, not knowing a whole lot.
Yeah.
Had never seen pizza or spaghetti or
Okay.
even fountain drinks in my life before.
So what was that moment when you felt, okay, yeah, this is the place now I'm going to live?
Well-
So actually you decided to, okay, now that's where I'm in,
Yeah.
and I'm going to make it happen in this place.
Well, September, when the school started, all the students came. And then all of a sudden, the campus was full of activity.
Right.
And there were international students, there were Americans, there were a lot of social activities. And slowly, in about a month or so, I started adjusting to the American way of life. And it was nice. And then after that, the depression went away, and I made some friends, made some really good Kuwaiti friends, and Jordanian friends, and some Pakistani friends, Indian friends, international
Yeah.
friends, many interesting. So then, things changed.
So you got along with, used to with the culture, you made some friends.
Exactly.
So tell us, what was the university life?
That was just, I highly recommend everyone to go through that phase, It's a great time, very,
Why generally American universities rank high up there? Whenever we see a ranking of top 10, so you often see top 5. So what is that one thing different about US than the other countries?
Well, now I live in Europe, and I spent some time in Dubai, and in both these places I taught also. Americans have a different way of teaching, first of all. They teach very hands-on. They don't focus so much on theory, but they want you to actually get your hands dirty and learn things by doing them.
Right, practical.
Very practical. Here, what I see is, like example, maths. You will see the students get a book of maths with 500 equations in it, and they have to solve these equations. And I tell the students here also, in real life, no one's going to give you the equation. They're going to give you a real problem. They're going to tell you, this is a road, it's 50 meters wide, 5,000 cars go per hour. What can you do? Or, just an example, things like that.
Right.
So this is what the students get really confused, especially students here. So the way of teaching, the way of studying is a bit different.
Right. So you graduated. What's next?
Well, after I graduated, I went to California.
Right.
because
So you moved from Yale, which is near New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in Connecticut.
Connecticut. Okay. So you moved to California.
California. Yes, because
Right.
while I was at Yale in 1984,
Hmm.
a group of our friends, we all drove to California to watch the Olympics in Los Angeles. And
Please
you know,
drive to the
I really
right
like
after
Los Angeles. I like
300
California. I
meters
thought
and
it's a
follow
beautiful
the
place.
SS3 towards
Right.
So after I
Greenwich.
graduate, I will go to California.
Right. Okay.
So for this reason, I moved to California, to Los
Right.
Angeles.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think we need to go there.
You're gonna pay by card,
we need
yeah.
to pay by card. Yeah. Right. Okay. So continue while I'm going to pay.
Yeah, sorry.
So sorry, there are a lot of tools in Italy, so you guys need to bear with us on that. Okay, let me grab my card. Right. Next, continue.
Okay, so
It's all right.
reached Los Angeles, started looking for a job,
Right.
and surprisingly, the first job I found was at the airport fueling airplanes.
Fueling airplanes. That was back in 84.
1985.
85. Okay.
And that was the first job. And while I was looking for a job, I wanted to work for some big company, being a graduate of Yale University. And
So that was kind of a for your profile and a kind of an odd job.
odd job, exactly.
So,
but I had to
so that was your first job in America.
That was my first. You know, you can say.
So
I worked in gas stations before.
Right. But what are all these stories when people say we worked in gas stations and stuff?
Yeah. I worked at gas stations also. When I was at Yale, I worked at gas stations. I worked at a restaurant.
Right.
I didn't like, but gas stations I enjoyed actually. And to tell you the truth, that was the best job I've ever had.
The gas station.
Oh yeah.
All right.
It's really fun. So anyway, fueling airplanes at the airport. One day over there, I met a Pakistani pilot.
Right.
This gentleman was working for an airline, and we
Please
started
follow the
talking.
road for 20
Right.
kilometers.
And he said, "Max, why don't you learn to become a pilot?"
Right.
And I said, "Come on, I just graduated. I'm looking for a job in my field and a high-paying job, and go back to become a pilot. Come on, that's not really something I'm interested in." So he said, "Why don't you come to a flight school, and I'll take you for a small ride."
Right.
And right next to it, Los Angeles was Santa Monica, and in Santa Monica there was a flight school called Ganell Aviation.
Okay.
This guy used to teach over there. So I said, "Okay, I will come." I went to the flight school, and he took me for a ride.
Right.
And I tell you, Tahir, the time the plane took off, I said to myself, "This is what I want to do.
Right.
This is the only thing I want to do."
Right. I want to become a pilot.
I want to become a pilot.
Right. And you studied what?
And then before that, I was a computer engineer.
Computer engineer.
Totally different,
Right.
So I wanted
Okay.
to work for Hughes, but
Right.
it was totally different field at that time. So I started flying. I got my private license, instrument license, commercial license. Became a flight instructor.
So how did you fund the license and all this? So you saved money, you did jobs, and
I
then
saved money. I did odd jobs. I worked in fast food restaurants. I lived in an apartment with 14 Pakistanis,
right.
and that was an interesting phase also of life. But it was a young time,
Right.
a time where
So that was what 80s, which year was it? 80s? So end of
Late
80s,
80s.
late 80s, right? So you were already 10 years in US.
Yeah,
and you became a pilot.
Like about 8 or 9, yeah, almost 10 years ago.
Right. Okay. Great. So when you became a pilot, so you decided that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then, how long did you fly for?
Well, I'll tell you how I started the flying career. So once I got the commercial license, the first job I got was crop dusting. That means getting up 3 o'clock in the morning, taking the airplane over farms and spraying chemicals.
Right.
And the problem with these chemicals in those days were they were so strong that after I come back home, I would be high as a kite for the next 2 days, couldn't sleep, just the smell of those chemicals.
Right.
And it was, and they used to pay $2 an hour.
$2 an hour, yeah?
An hour, yeah.
Wow.
Because even they knew that this guy is here just to build his flight time.
Right.
And for me, it was okay because instead of me renting a plane and building time, I was able to build time for free.
Right.
And that was my first job.
Right.
My second job was pipeline patrol. I used to fly over a pipeline, an exposed pipeline, between somewhere near Los Angeles and Bakersfield and look for leaks.
Right.
And the third job after that was the most boring. That was banner towing. So I used to tow a banner from Palos Verdes all the way to Malibu over the beach.
Mm.
So if you know Los Angeles area, you'll see there's Palos Verdes, then you have Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach, Manhattan Beach, El Segundo Beach, and so on. So I fly over this beach with a banner in the back of the airplane, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Very, very slow airplane. And
How much can you earn as a pilot back then?
back then, if you're talking about as a commercial pilot for an airline, you would make between $70,000 and $80,000.
$70,000 to $80,000 a year.
Yeah.
That was not bad. Huh?
No. If you're working for a decent airline,
Right.
Okay.
So with today's maybe 150. How much is the average salary for
today's
salary?
average I would say probably around
So
140.
someone wants to become a pilot, graduated like what you did in different things. So what is the pathway? How can someone become a commercial pilot?
See, nowadays it's a bit different.
Right.
Nowadays, first you have to decide where do you want to work. If you want to work in Europe, if you want to work in US, because the license conversion between FAA, which is the American Authority for Aviation Licensing, and the EASA is a bit complicated.
Right.
If you get all your licenses in FAA and you want to come to Europe, the conversion is not easy. And if you get all your licenses here, the conversion to FAA is different.
Yeah.
So let's say if you want to work in Europe and you live in Europe, in Europe, once you get a commercial license, you can get a job as a cadet pilot in Ryanair, EasyJet, one of these guys.
Right.
Okay. They don't pay a lot, between 3,000 and 4,000 euros a month, but you're building your time, and you are on your way to becoming a pilot, a full-time commercial pilot for a big airline.
So how long it takes and what's the cost?
If you are in
involved in it?
US, let me just give you the other perspective also in case
Yeah.
somebody wants to know about US. If you are in US, then an airline usually hires you once you have what's called the airline transport pilot license with the hours.
Right.
So 1,500 hours. So basically the difference is in Europe, you can get a job as a cadet pilot for about 250, 300 hours. In US, you're looking at 1,500 hours.
Right.
Okay. But that's the first thing. Second thing, we're talking about cost. Obviously, 250 hours to 1,500 hours is a very long journey.
Right.
And sometimes people think, well, it's only a few hours. What's the big deal? But, gosh, if you fly 5 hours a week, in a year you do 250 hours.
Right.
So imagine how long it takes to get to 1,500 hours. And if you have to pay for them, it's extremely expensive. So students who live in US, usually after the commercial license,
Right.
they get a CFI license, Certified Flight Instructor. And they build their hours over there. And so they're teaching someone else. At the same time, they're filling their logbook. And then they move up from CFI to CFII, instrument instructor. And then multi-engine, and then PTV.
Right.
In Europe, Ryanair will hire you at 250 hours as long as you meet their requirements and as long as you have a commercial license.
Yeah. You're also a very avid golfer and you love golf.
Yeah, yeah.
And I learned golf from you, and you've been my teacher. We'll talk about it in the next part of our podcast when we'll come to that point.
Okay.
So tell me, how did you start playing golf, and what got you in golf?
I bought a house on a golf course.
Right.
I'm in California. My house is still there, and this house was on a golf course, and I really enjoyed living there on this golf course. But I didn't know anything about golf, and it so happened that my wife used to work for a bank, and in the bank there was this very beautiful girl, a colleague of my wife.
Right.
And one day I went to the bank to pick up my wife for lunch, and she said, Max, congratulations. You bought a house on a golf course. I said, yes, I did. And she said, do you play golf? And I said, yes, I do. And of course, without knowing a single thing about golf.
Right.
One of these days. And I said, wow, yeah, why not? Why not? It's a great idea.
Right.
Let's play in a couple of weeks,
Right.
And she said, yeah, that sounds good. She was really beautiful. Anyway, that same evening I went to the golf course. I met the pro over there, and I said, look, I want to take some golf lessons. He said, sure, what's your goal? And I said, my goal is to break 90 in 2 weeks.
Right.
He started laughing. He said, it's not going to happen in 2 weeks, it'll take a few years. I said, look, get me into this game, so at least I look like I know what I'm doing in a couple of weeks. So anyway, I went with him on the driving range, and then I realized, my God, this is...
Right. For you guys, just to tell you the passion for golf, if Max knows that you want to learn golf, or you like golf, or even if you tell him that, okay, Max, I want to play or learn how to play golf, he'll pick you up from your house, he'll pay for your lunch or breakfast, whatever, he'll pay for your tea time, he will gift you also the clubs. You know, he's a big lover of the game, I would say. Yeah, I really enjoyed playing golf with him, and we really had some great moments together on the course. Anyway, so let's again go back to your flying career. So when did you stop flying, and then what did you do next?
Well, at first, I'll tell you where I flew. I worked for FedEx. That was my first job. And then from FedEx, I went on to Burlington and then United. And then once I was close to retirement, I was having some problem with my vision. And I realized I'm going to retire in the next few years anyway. Why not stop now so I can not have this problem with the pressure on my right eye? So then once I quit flying, this is when I was in Pakistan. I got married, and then after that, I moved to Dubai because Pakistan was very difficult for me. I could not understand the people over there, or they could not understand me. I don't know. I thought
we will come to your Pakistan journey. So that's the next part of it. Yeah. So when did you stop flying?
I stopped flying, I would say 2006.
What did you do next?
This is when I was in Pakistan,
right?
And I started a business.
No, but you work in PepsiCo as well.
Oh, this was way before.
So that was before flying.
Yeah. This is
right.
way before.
Okay.
This is a good part of my life actually.
Yeah.
When I was in the flight school learning, at that time I was flying and teaching aviation over the weekends, but during the weekdays I had a regular job. I was working for PepsiCo as the director of operations, multi-store operations in Southern California.
Right.
And I was in the PepsiCo's Taco Bell division. So I was managing Taco Bell restaurants, and I learned a lot over there. By the way, PepsiCo is a great organization.
Okay, so Max, before we go to Pakistan, tell me, if you have to describe your American dream in few words, how would you describe that experience and spending your adult early years, going to university, starting your career, to meeting your wife, starting a family, buying a house, getting a mortgage, just be part of that American dream.
I'll tell you one thing about America. In America, possibilities are endless. Everything is possible. It's up to you how motivated you are.
It's a land of opportunities, they call it, right?
Exactly, and it's so rightly said. It is a land of opportunity, and it's up to you how far you want to go. You can, but of course, like they say, with every privilege comes a responsibility. With every success comes some time away from family.
Right.
So it's just a matter of how much you're willing to sacrifice. But in America, buying a house, getting a mortgage, getting a job, buying a car, all of these things are just normal process of we can say evolution over there.
Right. So anybody who moves with nothing, with $50 at the airport, can become a millionaire,
of course,
or a billionaire in some cases. Right.
So if I hear the story of someone like this guy, when he came to the airport to US, he had $50. Now he's a billionaire. I would never say wow. I would say so.
There are many other stories like that.
Exactly.
He's one of the stories.
Yeah.
Right. So US settled, great life, have everything. Landed in Pakistan after 23 years. Yeah. So what was it like? So when you landed at the airport, what was the first thing you noticed was different than when you left back in 23 years?
3 letters, WTF.
Right.
That's the first thing I said.
All right. Okay.
Because in my mind, and usually this happens, and as we go through these podcasts, you will see I have migrated every few years somewhere. That when we leave a place, in our mind, it's the same place.
Right.
But with time, evolution happens. The place changes. The people change. Everything changes.
Right.
And in my mind, I was still thinking of the Pakistan from 1981 when I left Pakistan. But it was nothing like that.
Right.
So at the airport, I was a bit surprised, and my sister had come to pick me up.
Right.
And when I got out, I saw all these cars and all this, development that was not there.
So the kids who were born, they're grown up. Your family was like,
so
everybody evolved.
That's the second stage. First, I was surprised looking at the streets. Oh, I used to come here for rabbit hunting,
Right.
and now there are apartment buildings here. You know? So it was a whole different thing.
Right.
And then the people were different also. I mean,
People have changed.
People have changed.
Life got much easier, and
life,
you know.
exactly. And you know, people were not as simple as they were.
Right.
Or maybe I was simple. I don't know. When I left, I was a teenager.
Right.
Didn't know much. But now, when I went back, I just.
So, how did you get settled in the new place? Yes, even though you were born there, but you know, what did you do first?
Well, I went to work for Air Blue, the Pakistani airline. It was starting, and I went to Pakistan in 2004, and they were starting the operation in 2004. And the director of operations happened to be a good friend of mine, Captain Felix.
Right.
And I had spoken to him before coming to Pakistan, and he said, "Well, we'll pay you so much money and this and that and all that."
Right.
My expertise were mainly on the Airbus A320, and he said, "This will be a perfect match for you. You're coming from US and you speak English and you speak Pakistani, Urdu, and Punjabi. It will really help us." But when I came here, even though I joined them, it was not the same. It was operationally there were a lot of problems. I couldn't adjust over there.
Right.
So I left and started my own business.
What business was that?
In those days, this problem.
So it was your first business, right?
That was my first business.
All right. Okay.
In those days, I was importing sugar. Sugar was a big problem in Pakistan. So I was importing Thai sugar and Brazilian sugar.
Right.
And I was exporting rice.
Right.
I had a company named MZ or NZ Trading.
Okay.
And a very nice office in Karachi from where we would do these things. And I got a big contract for supplying rice to Iraq.
Right.
And that experience taught me a lot. I mean, I was thinking like an American. So I had this order in my hand here to supply 20,000 tons of rice.
Right.
All right. And I'm thinking, no big deal. I go in the market, the wholesale market in Karachi. In those days, it was called Jordia Bazaar. I don't know what it's called now.
Okay.
So I go in the market. I talk to a couple of big wholesalers, and I tell them, look, I want to buy 20,000 tons of rice. They say, no problem. We can give you a price tomorrow.
Right.
Next day, I go in the market. There is no rice in the market.
Why?
Nobody has the rice. Before the word gets out that there's a guy who's looking for 20,000 tons of rice. Let's hold this rice.
Okay.
Let's jack up the price. I was really surprised at the mentality. So then there was a Hindu guy there. His name was Darpan.
Right.
He was a good friend of mine. So I went to him. He said, Max, what did you do? You went yesterday and you did this, and now everybody's holding their rice. They don't want to sell to anybody, because they want to jack up the price.
Right.
He said, why don't you come to my house in Hyderabad, Latifabad, near Hyderabad.
Okay.
And I will show you how this is done. I said, okay. So I go to his house in Latifabad. Very big house, rich guy. He said, first of all, you have to buy in small chunks. Buy only 1,000, 2,000 tons maximum from everybody.
Right.
And then don't ship it to your main warehouse. Ship it to a place like here, just a little outside.
Or ship it to different places.
Different places, okay. And then after that, collect it in one place. Can you imagine all this? Collect it in one place and then bag it in your brand at the end. Okay? Right. Don't tell them to bag it for you in your brand, because you will. So basically, you have to rebag the rice. You have to do many things in the whole process. So anyway,
so you learn all the trade secrets.
I would call them trade secrets. I would call them,
street smart.
Street, exactly. And that's how you do business in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Then another thing, sugar. Okay. Now, I'm telling you about Pakistan. Okay. I'm not saying that this happens all over the world. So there's a shortage of sugar. All right. In those days, sugar was selling at 33 Pakistani rupees a kilo. So imagine 33 rupees means 33,000 per ton. And the dollar was about $500 per ton. Okay. So Pakistan government has a lot of sugar in this place called TDP or something, TCP, Trading Corporation of Pakistan.
Right.
Okay? They want to auction this sugar. And there are a couple of importers who have sugar who want to control the price. So what happens is, in this auction, we all go, all right? I bid 32, somebody bids 33, somebody bids 34. One guy, I don't want to say his name, he's a big guy in Karachi. He bids 42.
42?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we all look at him and, so obviously they approve him. And the funny thing is, whatever you bid, you have to buy at that price only 10 tons.
10 tons?
That's it.
Right. No more than that?
No more than that. So
Okay,
he
why
buys
so?
10 because he's selling his sugar at 43, 44.
Ah.
The price does not go down.
That's
you know?
clever.
Yeah, that's exactly. I wouldn't
Yeah.
call it clever, but the
Uh-huh.
street smart, like I said,
Yeah,
street
yeah.
smart way of doing business.
Cunning.
Cunning, exactly.
Right.
I wouldn't say cunning, but I would just C-U-N plus a T.
Right.
T at the end. He was one of those.
Right.
But so I thought, guys, this is how business is done here.
So that's the norm. That's the new normal.
Yeah, exactly. And then
For you.
I'll tell you something interesting about Pakistan. I'm from Pakistan. I love my country. Okay.
Right.
I'm not saying this to defame Pakistan or
Yeah.
to Pakistan now, but somebody asked me this question in Pakistan one time. He said, Max,
Right.
what do you think of Pakistani businessmen? I said, well, there are two guys sitting and talking business. Okay. One guy's bullshitting
Yeah.
and the other guy's listening.
Right.
All right. The guy who's listening knows this guy's bullshitting.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, the guy who's speaking also knows that this guy knows that I'm bullshitting. And they still continue the conversation in millions and billions and all of that.
Yeah.
And so much
So
wasted time.
everybody you meet is know all the politicians, they're
Exactly,
millionaires,
exactly,
they're billionaires,
exactly,
just
exactly.
deals worth of
Yeah,
billions,
yeah.
millions. Yeah, exactly.
So that was kind of
Right.
rough for me. Then eventually, what happened was I had a big incident where, I forgot 2007 is when they assassinated the ex-prime minister. What was his name? Benazir Bhutto.
Yeah,
So I think I remember
that was in
20
2008, right? 2008 or 9?
8 or 9, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That day, a shipment of mine was coming from a sugar mill in Sindh to Karachi, and I lost all the trucks.
Right.
Burnt, or burnt with the sugar on it, or burnt after unloading the sugar. I don't know.
Right.
And the insurance company would not pay because they said anywhere in the world rights are never covered.
Right.
So I had a big loss, and I said, you know what, that's it. I can't stay here. I got to go. So then I got out of there and I came to Dubai.
Right. So what was your routine life like in Karachi? What was your daily
Well, that's the best part.
routine?
Okay. Every day I would get up, go to my office, spend a few hours, over trade deals. We were exporting rice to Africa, West Africa, exporting rice.
I assume the life is much more slower than US,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you're not like running all the time. You're not like you have servants everywhere. So elite is like
In the
they
afternoon,
get
I would go to the golf course.
yeah.
I would see the likes of Wazim Akram and Justice Fakhruddin and many people, and just hang out with them on the driving range and hit balls and just enjoy my time. And
So that was the good part.
That was a good part.
of that.
Yeah. The golf.
Yeah, the golf and all the socializing.
Exactly.
And, hanging out with friends and stuff. Right. Okay. So Dubai. So why Dubai? Why did you choose Dubai?
Well, Dubai was the nearest place from Pakistan,
Right.
and living in Pakistan, I wanted to be able to come to Pakistan, visit my mother, and
Right. So that was your third move.
that was my third
Big move, but
Third big
you
move.
moved within the states,
Exactly,
a
exactly.
few times, but
Yeah,
third international move.
third international move.
Right.
So I came to Dubai in 2008. 2008.
Yeah.
Real estate was in the boom.
Again to start fresh.
Start fresh, yes.
Right.
yes. And I loved it every
Okay.
time. I loved it every time.
Start all over again.
Start all over again in a different field.
Different field, different circumstances, different friends, everything
different
is
country, different culture, different
Yeah.
everything.
Okay.
And I tell you now, I love
Yeah.
it. I will tell you more in the end where I'm going next.
Okay.
So I come to Dubai
Oh.
and I'm thinking, what can I do here? I
Right.
had some cash
Oh.
and I got a real estate license. And here in those days, the real estate market was so hot.
Yeah.
And if somebody would come to the place where I worked, the commission was like 10,000 dirhams, I would call somebody else, please talk to this guy, because
Yeah.
I don't have time to make 10,000 dirham commission.
Yeah.
And then the market collapsed.
Eight.
Yeah, at the end of 2008.
Global financial
exactly,
crisis.
Global financial crisis. JP Morgan.
November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the market crashed, and then after the market crashed, I felt bad for my investors also, but there was nothing I could do. I had made some money, so now real estate was done. So I didn't know what to do. So I thought, why not try something different? Why not facility management?
Right.
This you probably don't know, so
Yeah.
you like this story.
So just to add this, that's how I met Max.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Not
yeah.
yet.
Carry
not
on.
yet, not
Okay.
yet.
Okay. So,
So I thought, why not facility management?
all right.
So I saw an ad in the paper, and I applied for the job. They called me for an interview. You probably know this company, Nejma Fraser.
Yes, I do.
So I went for the interview. I was wearing I had a Versace suit. I was wearing a nice suit, business suit, and all that. So when I got there, I saw a whole bunch of South Indians, the typical dressing and all of that.
Yeah.
Nothing against them. And I thought, maybe.
That was new experience for you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I loved it, So the guy, the three people, three South Indians, one of the owners and a couple other guys, his accountant and his brother, not his brother, but somebody else, three people to interview me. And when I looked at them, I said, man. So the guy looked at me, he goes, can you wait? We want to speak to you at the end. I said, sure, why not?
Okay.
The position they had was for an HR manager. And I said, okay, no problem. I wait. At the end, they called me in, they interviewed me, they liked what I said, and they're very happy with me, and they said, okay, we're happy to offer you a job.
Right.
We'll pay you 3,500 dirhams.
$600.
$600. I said, well, this is how much my cigars cost a month. How am I going to survive on 3,500?
Right.
So the guy says, well, what do you expect? How much salary do you expect? I said, I expect 22,250. I'm 22,250.
Right.
So they were shocked, He said the highest paid person in our company is 4,000 dirhams. That's my accountant right there. I said, with all due respect, maybe that's what he deserves. I don't know. That's between you and him. But I want 22,250 dirhams. But I tell you, this guy, the owner of this company, he was not an educated guy.
Right.
But he was a genius.
Right.
I mean, a real genius. I learned more from him than I learned at Yale University. So he looked at me, he goes, all right, so why 22,250? Explain this to me. I said, well, 20,000 for my salary. I'm going to work for you, and 2,000 for my car.
Right.
Because I'm going to use my car, and I'm going to drive my car, and I don't need your car, and I'll use my own transport.
Yeah.
And this 2,000 will be for my car, the fuel, the maintenance, and my mobile phone. He goes, okay, but what about the 250? I said, well, it's very difficult to find parking here on Al Riga Road, where his office was. There's a parking lot right across your office. They charge 250. I asked them this morning. So 250 for that, so I can park my car there and just walk into the office. He started smiling and he said, okay. And he said, what do you know about this job? I said, I don't know anything about this job. No, he was laughing, He was really enjoying it.
Right.
He goes, what's a guarantee you will do a good job? I said, the guarantee is very simple. I give you a check for 22,250.
Right.
You keep my check.
Okay.
I work for you for 1 month. You're not happy with my work, you can cash my check, I go home, I'm giving you the money instead of you giving me. If you're happy with my work, you give me my check back and we continue. And he said, okay.
Right. Good.
And anyway, he gave me the job. And then I learned a lot in his company about this facility management business, cleaning, security.
So you were GM, right?
I was the general, Even though the position was for HR manager, he hired me as a general manager.
So when you started, what were the few of the challenges you had to overcome?
First of all, I didn't know anything about the job.
So
Nothing.
you had to go through the learning curve.
What I did was, I scheduled a meeting with all the HODs, all the head of
There were no
departments.
ChatGPT there back then.
No.
You can ask, okay, I'm a new general manager, tell me what to do.
So I called all the HODs one at a time first, and I said, okay guys, tell me, what do you do? What is your job description? And usually, when you ask an employee, what's your job description, they add more things than they would actually do.
Right.
So I got a good picture of what everybody does or is supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then, being in management at PepsiCo and having prior experience, it was not hard for me to figure out, how the job works.
You build up from there.
Exactly. Then I brought in some big customers for them. When I joined them, they had like 300 employees.
Right.
But when I left, they had more than 2,000.
Wow. How long you worked there for?
2 years.
2 years, okay.
So I brought in some big contracts, McDonald's and some big hypermarkets and some auto dealerships like Mercedes, Gargash and all of these.
Okay.
So it was a good experience. After that, I started my own business.
Again?
Yes.
Second business.
Now I thought, I know this business of cleaning. I can do this myself.
I'm a pro.
I'm a pro. And little did I know that, no, it's not as simple as, working for someone and making 22,250.
Yeah.
So I started my own company. And after a year and a half, I was miserable. Miserable beyond belief.
Right.
And I didn't know what to do. I was losing money. All my calculations were wrong. And I had unforeseen expenses. You know how UAE market is, and there's so many hidden expenses that if you don't plan
the
properly.
margins are very low in that business in UAE. So I've been in this business. I think many of my listeners knows. So for you guys, just to tell you that I think that was the point when we met.
No,
So-
not yet.
Not yet?
No, there's more.
Okay.
I gotta tell you how I
Right.
met my partner. So
Right.
I wanted to sell the business. I wanted to get rid of the business and be done with it. Then God sent
That was
me-
the Brightway cleaning, right?
No, this
No.
was Infinity.
Infinity. Okay,
Yeah.
that was your first.
That was my first.
Okay.
So then God sent me a person. This guy named Samson showed up one day at my office.
Right.
Nice looking guy, Ethiopian guy. And he
Maybe
said, "My name
Samson is listening this.
Maybe-
never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, good guy, you know.
Right.
Sammy, I call him
Right.
Sammy. Sammy showed up one day.
I met him once.
Yeah, I think you met him. You know?
Yeah.
So he said, "Hi, my name is Sammy. I got your number from another friend, and blah blah blah. And I'm interested in opening a cleaning company. So I need your help and advice." So I said, Sammy, I really don't have the time, but if you want my help and advice, I'll have to charge you 5,000 dirhams. I want to get rid of him, really. And
Right.
Sammy said, "No problem." He wrote me a check for 5,000. So when he wrote me a check for 5,000, of course,
Yeah.
I was paying attention. He had my attention. So then he brought me to his office. He said, "This is my office. I want to work. I've just moved here from Ethiopia." And he had a lovely family. He had a wife and a son. And I think he had an elder daughter also. So he said, "I want to move here and I want to start a cleaning business. Why don't you come and work with me?" I said, "Okay." I was more interested in working instead of being a
Right.
businessman. I thought business is not my cup of tea. So I had sold my Infinity business anyway, so I left that place and went to Sammy's office. And we started he started a company called Brightway Cleaning. And he said, "Max, I'm going to make you a partner."
Okay.
I said, "Okay, but you are responsible for everything, I don't want to be involved in the accounting or anything else."
Yeah.
He said, "No, you'll be my partner." So I
Right.
became his partner.
That was your third business.
That was my third business. Okay. And he got some big, I had some contacts in the industry. So I brought in some big contracts, a contract with a company still in Dubai called EFS. A good friend of mine, Tariq Chauhan, he runs that company. And we got a big contract for the mosque to supply cleaners to all the mosques in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
At the time, I had like 500-600 people working over there, and a couple other big contracts in Dubai. So the company started moving forward. After a couple of years, Sammy wanted to retire and do something else, and he suggested that, "Max, why don't you find a buyer, and I want to sell the company."
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, why not? If you want to sell the company." I came across Mr. Shamim.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Shamim wanted to be my partner.
Right.
Nice guy again, from Pakistan. I used to just come to Dubai to visit. And Sammy's shares got transferred to Mr. Shamim.
Yeah.
Mr. Shamim and I became partners. And just a week after the ownership was changed,
Right.
I realized I cannot work with this guy.
Right.
His office calling 10 times a day to see if the office is open, if the office is closed, micromanaging everything and all of that. I said, "No, I don't need this."
Right.
So I told him, I said, "Look, Shamim, I made a mistake. I don't think we can work together. We can be good friends, but
Right.
that's when a guy walked into my office one day and he was working for Mawarid and he offered some labor card payment system that was better than what we had. And I said, "Why not?" His name is Talat,
Yeah.
our mutual friend. So while talking, I asked Talat, "Look, Talat, I want to sell.
Yeah.
Let me know." Talat said, "I have a friend who might be interested in this business." And that's when Mr. Tahir Javed Kashif came in the picture. That's when you came in the picture.
Yeah.
This was in 2010.
So that was my first
Exactly.
acquisition.
Exactly.
The first or second? The second I bought Binamer cleaning service. I don't know if you know.
Yes,
from,
that was your first acquisition.
Yeah.
Before that, you had Liverpool and
Yeah. So
moving
that's how I
company
got
and all that.
into acquisitions, and that's when I met Max.
yeah.
So I think our very first meeting was on a golf course.
On a golf course in Dubai Creek.
In Dubai
yes.
Creek, yes.
Yeah.
That's when Talat, he was my
I was
account manager
practicing
back
and-
then,
Yeah.
and
He was
good
my
friend
account
now.
manager also. So.
Yeah. So Yeah, I think that was a great deal. So I mean, that acquisition really went very well. I would say one of the best for me. So it paid me back maybe 4, 5, 6 times, over the year, and the value is.
And if you remember,
yeah, very good.
you had
employees,
offered me
yeah.
commission also, and I said
Yes,
no.
yes.
I refused. I said no, I don't want any commission. I just want to get rid of this Shamim guy, buy this company. So I am out, he's out.
Right.
So now Shamim is gone. I am out of Brightway. You own the company. I open another business. Ambience, cleaning services. I moved to a bigger place. I have more money. I have more capital.
Yeah. And as a partner.
As a partner with Mr. Hassan.
Yeah. There's another guy.
In Churchill Tower. Okay. Mr. Hassan was a good partner. Just he let me do whatever I wanted to do. Operation was in my hand.
No micromanagement.
No. He just makes do whatever you think is best. So, ambience cleaning service. Same thing, same process. I knew how to get
cleaning,
a customer.
Maintenance services.
Maintenance services.
Yeah, it wasn't cleaning. Yeah,
cleaning, maintenance.
You were more into
facility management,
MEP, and stuff like that. So yeah.
And Dubai is not a big place. I knew
that was the
boys.
company I also acquired for one dirham.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So there were two companies.
Yeah.
There was Ambience Cleaning Services and Ambience Facility Management.
Right.
Okay. Ambience Cleaning Services was me and Mr. Hassan.
Yeah.
Ambience Facility Management was Mr. Hassan and
there was
Khalid,
another
local
local person. Yeah.
They were in the facility management business. I was in the cleaning business. So, and Dubai is a small market. You know all the big guys. Sooner or later, they know you. It's easy to get contracts. It's easy to know the rates and all that stuff. So, if I got the big contracts like Damak and some other guys, and we started moving forward. Everything was great. And then Mr. Hassan came to me one day and said, Max, I'm having a lot of problem with Ambience Facility Management Services, which is another company. And that company was not run from my office in Churchill Tower. It was run from his office, which was in a hotel somewhere. I forgot the name of the hotel, but somewhere near downtown Dubai. I was in Business Bay.
Right.
So when I looked at the books and everything, I realized, man, he owes vendors 1.3 million dirhams.
1.4.
1.4. You know the exact.
I know exactly.
So I said to him, look, you owe so much money and you have so much liability. It's not really worth it. It's not really worth doing anything in this company. Why don't you just get rid of it, sell it? He said, Max, I'll be happy to get rid of this company for free. That's when I suggested to you, look, he has 1.39 or 1.4 million liability with Al Fajr. Another company. People who are listening might be confused. What is all this company names, But just for the sake of conversation. They owe another company 1.34 million dirhams. Why don't you take over this liability and you can have this company? And you said, that's a good idea. And you took over that company.
That was also a good acquisition for me. That also paid me well because I restructured the debt very smartly. And I think this is another way people can make wealth: buying, distressed businesses, restructuring the debts, and you can really extract a lot of value out of the business.
Yes.
And that's what I learned from that acquisition. It's possible, and you can be very wealthy. That acquisition was not very big in terms of, but when you go do it on a bigger scale, buy a distressed business, buy for nothing, restructure the debt, and then in 3-4 years you can have a very much valuable business, which you can resell it for very, very big price. So if you go back to this ambience maintenance, what do you think? What was the in your entire cleaning experience? I think it was 6, 7, 8 years. You were in that business already. So what was wrong? Why you were failing again and again and again?
No, my ambience cleaning services, there was no problem. Ambience business maintenance service, the other company that Mr. Hassan had, that's the company you took over. Now, Ambience Cleaning Services, the company that I had,
Mm.
see, my way of doing business was a bit different than the cleaning companies in Dubai.
Right.
I would pay my employees the right wages. I would pay them on time. I would pay my managers, competitive wages. And the margins were so little. And there was a new surprise from the UAE government every few months. So, to give you just a small perspective, the market rate was on an average 2,700 dirhams per employee.
Right.
Okay, that means you are charging a company 2,700 if you have a good contract. All right, you charge 2,700. Now, for those of you who are listening and thinking of opening a business, pay attention to this part. 2,700, you charge a customer, you are very happy. Oh, I've got a good contract. Okay, you're paying your employee about 1,200. You're paying about 700 for his accommodation. So you're paying another 100 for his transport because you're taking him back and forth from work. You spend 2,000 right there.
Right.
Then you add up the the visa cost. Okay, his medical insurance, your office overhead, your office admin overhead. Okay, the cost of capital. All of that, if you add up, it comes to almost 2,950.
Yeah.
Only ability hits you 2 years later. So at that time, you take 2,700, you spend 2,300, you think you've made 400 dirhams per person.
But
In
actually,
reality,
you didn't make anything.
you are accruing liability, which hits you later on, and then then you don't know what to do.
Right. And do you think because you started businesses in your late 40s, early 50s, your first business, and if you go to, like if you start a business at a younger age, being a business owner, it's difficult when you're an employee for so many years. You can be a good employee, maybe you cannot be a good business owner.
There's a big difference here between being an employee and being an owner. Okay.
Yeah.
When you are an employee, your name is on the check in one place. Pay two.
Yeah.
When you're the owner, your name is in two places. Pay two and signed by you.
Signed by you.
So that makes a big difference. So you have to. I mean,
because I've seen so many people. They're great employees. I mean, they're great managers. And now I sold few businesses to professionals. They come from one of my clients, without naming. He comes from a consulting background. Works in a very big consulting firm, consulting for governments, businesses, and stuff. And he bought a very small business, and he was not successful. I mean, and he was making mistakes which I could see because I've been a business owner for all my life, and I work for anybody. So, which I could really actually see it.
I could tell
where
you,
he's wrong, but he couldn't see it.
I can tell you another reason.
Even though he was a MBA graduate, but
I can tell you another reason.
Yeah.
The nature of a person.
Yeah.
See, like me, I'm a very laid back person. No matter what happens, I say, okay, no problem, let's find a solution. Okay. But to be a successful businessman, you have to have this strategy of hustle. Every morning when you get up, you have to think, what else can I do? What else can I do? Okay. And to be a successful business, you need to have this in you.
And risk-taking.
And risk-taking.
I mean, when I bought your first company, I bought it for, I think, 500 something.
Yeah.
And I didn't have, only money I had was this.
Yeah.
That's it. And after I paid,
I remember
you I had nothing. I had no cash flow, nothing. That was my, but I took a risk and that paid off. And when I bought your, that company for 1 dirham, again, I didn't have 1.4 million. We did a deal, and then you were trying to restructure, meeting all these, creditors.
And I was trying to restructure your debt also. With the creditors,
trying to restructure. But I think also got to do with the risk appetite. When you're an employee, by nature, over the period of slowly, because you're not taking decisions, you're looking up to somebody to give you a direction, to say yes to your decisions, even though if you're in high up on the position, but still, end of the day, you are just following the orders. So your risk-taking, ability comes down. So business is all about taking risks.
And risk appetite comes from this thinking of hustle strategy.
Yeah.
If you're hustling, you're going to take risk. If you're not hustling, you're going to say, no, man, this is too much for me. I can't handle this. And that was the case with me. I'm, like right now, I'm happy with what I have. I'm happy where I am. I am not a businessman.
Right. Okay, so you gave up your entrepreneurship dreams and all this.
Yeah.
So then you went back to the job again.
I went back to the biggest company in Dubai, Power.
Yeah. Power Group. Yeah.
I became the general manager for Power Group. And I was managing, close to 5,000 people, I think. And, I enjoyed that job. And I felt at home. My boss, very nice guy.
And then again, you were successful.
Yeah.
Like,
I enjoyed. We brought in many new contracts, streamlined many things. And the most important thing I did in the company that I'm very proud of is I brought in a state-of-the-art CRM system. And we used SAP and
ERP.
Sorry, it was CRM and ERP both combined into one. And implementation of that was a big challenge.
Right.
Because the employees we had, they were there for decades and they didn't want to change. The accountants, the attendance system. Once SAP was implemented, everything changed. And, we reduced so much paperwork and we did a lot of good things. We were able to visualize where we are. Where we are with the receivables, with the payables.
Which they didn't know before. Yeah. Like most business owners.
Yeah. And there's one thing I learned from that business is look at the age of your receivables. If your receivables jump 30 days, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because now you have to pay the expenses for those 30 days also, for your employees, for your overheads.
And collecting receivable is a challenge in Middle East overall.
Yeah, but you gotta really be on top of that. You can't let that slide.
Right.
Not even for a day. When I would walk in the office every day, the first thing I would do is look at the receivables. I would always look at the ratio of receivables to payables to see where I was at. And every month before the 10th, I had to collect 10 million dirhams because I had to make sure the employees get their salaries on time.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a challenge. I could just sit as a general manager and say, okay, guys, accountants, go collect the money. No.
Especially in a market like Dubai, it's not
I would
easy.
get involved myself. I would
often I see companies using, the invoices or vendor payments as a cash flow.
Yeah.
Like that will be paid in the last. So this is the mindset or a culture.
So what happened was, it's a cycle. Now what happens is, a vendor comes to me. He's one of our suppliers, and I want to buy, let's say, there's a coffee cup. I want to buy coffee cups from him. He will say one cup will be 50 cents.
Right.
And I will say, come on, 50 cents? That's too much. I can buy this cup for 30 cents at some place. He goes, yeah, but there you have to pay cash. I'm giving you 50 cents because I know you'll give me the money in 90 days.
Right.
And so why am I giving this vendor money in 90 days? Because I'm not collecting money.
Right. Right.
And so what happens is, in the end, it costs you more because your receivables are late and you end up paying more for other things. Same thing with your suppliers, that if you give them a good payment plan and you stick to your payment plan, then you have a better bargaining price.
Okay, so then Italy now. America.
Okay, then I came to Italy.
So North America. Pakistan.
Yeah.
Then Middle East. Now Europe. So what brought you to Italy? And Rome.
I was working Power. I was very happy over there. Had a good job.
Yeah.
Then I realized my age. I'm at an age then I'm gonna have to leave Dubai sooner or later. Because in Dubai, I can't live all my life. Eventually, I have to go somewhere. It's a transient point. It's a place where you come into Italy. Again, I didn't know what to do here.
Right.
I had no idea.
Okay.
I thought this would be another country where I can easily find a job and do something.
Right.
But when I got here, I realized, oh no, Max, this is a problem now. Because the first day I went to McDonald's, here, I told the girl, can I have a Big Mac, large fries, and a Coke, please? And can I have that Coke with extra ice?
Right.
And she looked at me, and I looked at her, and then she looked at me, and she said, no inglese.
Right.
So I thought, okay, maybe she doesn't speak English, no big deal. Like, can you please get the manager or somebody else speaks English? I couldn't find a single person in that
Who can
restaurant
speak
who
English.
would understand what I want, you know.
Right.
Then I realized, oh, this is a problem. I have to learn the language,
Right.
and that's not easy. So then I sat down and I thought, well, what can I do in a country where people don't speak English?
Right.
And my wife suggested, why don't you teach English?
Right.
And I said, you know, what about a great idea? So then I started doing some research and realized to teach English, you know, in a bona fide way, you must be a certified teacher from Cambridge or someplace like that.
Right.
So I contacted Cambridge and I got this training course called CELTA.
Right.
Basically teaching English to adults in a professional way based on the Cambridge
That was a
system.
great idea, by the way.
Yeah. And the CELTA training, Tahir, probably was the most difficult thing of my life. Because it was a course that's designed for 6 months.
Right.
And for teachers who have been doing this for years and who want to get this certificate, it was for them for a month.
Right.
So I took the month course thinking, what's the big deal? English, right?
Yeah, it would be easy.
Yeah, but it was not easy. But for the whole month, I mean, in the middle of the course, my wife said to me, why don't you just give up? You know, you look so tired and stressed. And I said, no, I can't give up. You know. So every day in the morning, I would teach for 5 hours
Right.
to real students, while the Cambridge evaluators would sit in the back of the classroom and evaluate us every day and pass or fail. If you get 2 fails in a week, you are out of the course.
Right.
So it's kind of like a boot camp, you know. Anyway, I passed it and I finished, and then I applied for a job. And you know what? Funny thing is, I applied for only one job.
Right.
And the day I applied for the job, the next day I got a phone call.
Now you got a job.
No, this girl, she called me and she said, hi, my name is Natalia, I'm from the school. And are you Max Munaf? I said, yes, it's me. Could you come for the interview? I said, okay. Then I thought it was a prank. Maybe one of my friends or somebody is just, playing with me. She said, can you come tomorrow? I said, no, I can't come tomorrow. I'm busy tomorrow. She said, can you come Friday morning?
Yeah.
I said, no, I can't come Friday morning. I come Friday afternoon. She said, okay, please come Friday afternoon.
Right.
And when I went Friday afternoon, and I wore the same Versace suit that I had worn at the previous
First interview.
you know.
With the very first job.
Yeah. So when I walked in there, I saw like maybe a dozen English teachers, and they were all dressed casually, like the. And I thought, my God, I'm overdressed for this interview. You know? And again, the girl said to me, "Can you wait? We want to interview you last." And I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." You know? So after they interviewed everybody, she said, "I want you to speak to the owner of the company."
Right.
I said, "Sure, no problem." You know. And the owner of the company, her name is Pina Ford. Nice, very nice lady, you know.
Right.
So she came in for the interview. She picked up my CV. She started reading those 3-page CV, and she started reading everything.
Yeah,
And then
all
she
your
looked at me,
cleaning service experience, everything.
flying, cleaning, business. And she looked at me. She goes, "Why are you here?" That's what that was her first question, you know. So I said to her, "You want an honest answer, or you want an answer that I am supposed to give?" She said, "No, I want an honest answer." I said, "The honest answer is, my daughter and my wife, they live here. I want to live with them. I want to spend time with my daughter. She's 8 years old. I think 8 or 9 years old. 8.5 years old, something like that." So she looked at me and she goes, "I respect that. I can understand that." And she gave me a job.
Right. Great.
That was my first job, teaching English, which I had never done in my whole life, in high school, which I had never done in my whole life, to Italian students, which I had never done in my whole life.
And you couldn't even speak Italian.
I didn't speak a word of Italian, except for buongiorno. I didn't know anything.
Wow, great.
So that's
Okay.
how I got into teaching.
Mm.
A whole new profession,
Mm.
a whole new set of rules, a whole new way of doing things.
Right.
And, here I am 5 years later.
Great. So, tell us a little bit about Italian life, dolce vita. Dolce vita,
Yeah.
right? Good way of life.
Well, see, here's the thing.
What's your dolce vita?
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. When I was in Dubai, I was also doing a second MBA just because I had time. And in that, while doing that MBA, I wrote a thesis on happiness.
Right.
And in my thesis, while doing the thesis, I discovered that happiness is just a temporary state of mind. Okay, if I say that driving on this highway makes me very, and I tell this to myself 10 times, I will be very happy the 11th time I drive here. If I tell myself, driving on this highway makes me miserable, the 11th time I will be miserable. So the similar concept, dolce, what do they say? Dolce vita, yeah, the happy life or whatever. It's their definition. They will eat pasta and pizza every day and they're happy with that. If they're happy with that, who's someone to tell them? I am not.
Right.
I'm not going to, I like pasta, I like pizza, but I'm not going to eat it every day.
Right.
Maybe once a week, maybe twice a week. So, dolce vita, the definition of happiness, if you can put up with
keep left.
and bureaucracy, other things, and you still call it dolce vita, yeah, then that's your call.
It's different than North America, Middle East.
Much different.
Yeah.
Much different.
Things are much more laid back, slower.
Things are much laid back, much slower. But what they don't realize,
Please keep left after 500 meters
in my
and
opinion,
continue to follow the E45
is that
towards Chizzy.
by being laid back, they are missing out on productivity.
Now
Here,
keep left.
are we going the right way?
Yeah.
Here, what happens is, okay, after 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon,
45 for 3
most
kilometers.
government offices are closed. So if you want to go to government office in the morning, you must take time off from work.
Right.
You can't make an appointment and go there quickly and come back in an hour. You must go there, take a number and sit there, wait there for 2-3 hours. You have a doctor's appointment. Your appointment is at 9 o'clock, and so are 20 other people, all at 9 o'clock.
Right.
Whoever takes the first number goes in first. So it affects the productivity you have at work because you have to take half a day off from work just to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. And something that I've seen roads dug up and dug up for weeks.
I was surprised
Yeah.
the other day. I was trying to find a barber.
Yeah.
So 5 shops.
Yeah.
Well, I went in. Nobody was willing to take me. They said, you need to take an appointment.
Yeah, exactly.
Tomorrow, come tomorrow.
Yeah.
Make an appointment and come tomorrow. For a barber. I couldn't find a barber.
Yeah.
So what the hell?
You have to go to the Pakistani guys there.
So, I mean, and that was in a city center.
So,
And if you need to go to a barber, you cannot find it.
so I'll tell you.
I mean, that was really...
I'll tell you a joke. You'll laugh
Yeah.
at this one. I heard the joke from Ronald Reagan, so I used it with an Italian.
Yeah.
I went to a shop and this car repair shop, and I told the guy I wanted to bring my car in for oil change. He said, oil change, huh?
Oil
in
change,
Dubai, you can go done in
24 hours.
24 hours,
Yeah.
or car wash or whatever. Okay. He goes, well, you have to make an appointment. I said, okay. When can I get my oil change? He looks at this thing. He goes, okay, how about next week on Thursday? So he goes, so I said, okay, Thursday morning or afternoon? He goes, and he says, why? What difference does it make? I said, because Thursday morning the plumber is coming. So the appointment with the plumber is next week. So I can only come in the afternoon.
Right.
The point being, they are so into their whole thing that,
Yeah.
they're missing
Especially in Rome. I think down is a little bit different.
North is
Not a lot,
yeah.
but
They're more
things are
European.
bit more productive.
Yeah, they're more Europeans.
But Rome is like, very laid back, very slow. For some people it works, I mean, if you're not in a hurry, if you want to have a relaxed life, if you want to have
If you don't want to excel, you're happy with what you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, if you look around in Rome, everybody drives the same size of car.
Yeah.
Everybody lives in the same size of
Please follow
apartment.
Yeah.
the E45 for 65.
If you want to work, if you want to make money, if you want to excel,
And they're happy
then
with
it's
that.
not the place for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So what do you know nowadays? What keeps you busy here in Rome?
Well, I teach. I am the official examiner for the Italian beep beep beep.
What's
And,
beep, beep,
I just don't want to say the name. It's a government agency
All right.
and related to aviation.
Oh, so you got into aviation again?
Back into aviation again.
Right. So I thought you were teaching English.
Well, I'm teaching English also, but in the morning I work for the Italian agency where I certify the air traffic controllers and pilots for a certain skill. And then in the afternoon, twice a week, I teach English.
Great. That's another change.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What you got you into in this?
Well, aviation and will be. Two of you know all three of them. One is
Right.
obviously aviation, golf, and cigars.
Aviation, golf, cigars. Yes.
Always been an avid cigar smoker since you know me.
Yeah.
I've always been an avid golfer since you know
Yeah.
me. And I can't fly as much as I would like to anymore. I still do sometimes on the weekends. But this keeps me connected with the aviation profession,
Right.
people in the aviation business. And I recently wrote a book. I'm not using the podcast to book or anything, but this book's going to be published in next month or so, and then available also on Kindle and many places.
I mean,
for
we're
aviation
just
professionals.
crossing Perugia, and I was looking. Look how beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Italy is beautiful, you know. I mean, when you
No
drive
doubt,
in
no
here,
doubt.
it's
If
a
you
beautiful
come-
country.
If you're coming here as a tourist, it's a
yeah,
beautiful
I love
place.
it. Every time I come here, and you know, I realize there's so much more to life. We are in Dubai, hustling, waking up every day, running around, meetings after meeting. You don't realize, you know, there are so many other things to enjoy, small little things that can bring you also happiness rather than driving fast cars, living that luxury life, show off all the, you know, branding stuff. And, you know, people can be much more happier with very little.
Yeah, true.
You know, look at this. Amazing. Beautiful. Right. So what's next, Max? What are you doing now? What's next
Well,
for you? Where are you moving next?
I've written this book, and this book is in the final stages of is getting edited
Right.
by one of the big presses here, publishing houses here, and then it will be available. And this book works with a mobile app. They both work together, and I'm expecting some good dividends from here.
Right.
And if that happens,
So
then,
your book would be available on Amazon?
yeah, it'll be available.
Kindle?
Yeah, on Kindle. It'll be available on Barnes and Noble. It will
Right.
be available if you want to go to bookstore. And
So it'll be ebook or there will be also a printed version?
both words.
Both,
If
okay.
you want you can have the printed. You can
Right.
do that. And it's also getting white label for some government agencies in different countries
Right.
for their trainees. They will have their own private version customized for them.
Right.
So, next plan after this is to move to Amsterdam.
Oh, you're moving in?
Yes.
No, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Not
Really?
now. Not
Okay.
now.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, Amsterdam.
That's another
Definitely.
interesting place to move.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Why Amsterdam?
Well, I did some research. I went to Germany. I went to Czech Republic. I went to France. I went.
Why do you want to move there now?
Well, recently.
Enough of Italy?
No.
or
I like
change?
Italy. I like Italy, but
Right.
6 years here. Usually
Okay.
about 6,
So it's
7
time to
years I
change
jump
again.
the ship, you know.
Time to move again.
Time to move again. Plus, my daughter's going to go to university very soon,
Right,
and she's in high school right now. She's going to graduate in 2-3 years.
right.
So once she graduates, I want her to go to a good university in Amsterdam.
Right.
And when I went there, I kind of felt very comfortable,
It's a great place to be. It's more international, more opportunities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Immigrants are more integrated. This is something
Yeah.
I don't see here in Italy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Italians are racist. That's not what I mean. But they look at foreigners as foreigners. Okay, they are other
Yeah.
people. We are other. So you don't really integrate with them that much. But over there, I didn't see that.
Right.
I went to
Okay,
many
great.
restaurants. I went to shops. My daughter was very happy over there. And best thing is everybody speaks English, so there's no language barrier. And
Amazing. I think then next year we'll have another episode
yeah,
with your story of moving to Amsterdam. So, I mean,
well, I'm not gonna live in the city. Probably
Yeah.
like in the suburbs outside
Right.
the city.
so Max, going back all this, to your younger self, if one advice you have to give to someone who's just at the same age, starting their life, so what would be that advice?
Well, my advice is 2 or 3 parts to it. First, only do what you enjoy. If you don't enjoy something, don't do it. Because what happens is, if you're going to leave something a year from now, 2 years from now, leave it now, so you will be 2 years ahead in what you really wanted to do. Okay, first thing. Second thing is, if you're going to start a business, if you're going to start a project, if you're going to start something, visualize the end and visualize the exit strategy also before you start.
Right.
Because if you start something and then you start scratching your head, okay, what do I do next, and how do I do this and how do I do that, then it's not really very productive. First thing, do what you enjoy doing. Like I, honestly, right now, really enjoy teaching. And that's why I don't think that I have a job. I think that I do something that I like. I don't have to teach in the evenings twice a week, but I
Right.
enjoy it. I look forward to it. I go meet students, adult students, professionals, lawyers, doctors, judges, law
Right.
enforcement, all these people. And I enjoy talking to them about English language and just having general conversations with them. And I enjoy my morning job also. I'm teaching. And when I see my students understanding what I'm trying to explain to them, it's a great feeling.
Right. Great. So I think I try to make our podcast as brief as possible. At the same time, give our listeners as much information about you, about your life, your experience. But I think we could still talk for hours and hours.
Yeah.
So it was the shortest I could do.
I could give you so many stories during my flying time.
It can
during
be
my time at,
so long. So I think
PepsiCo.
it's time for us also to enjoy some our long drive.
Yeah.
So we still have 2 hours to go.
Yeah.
So we are going to Florence. We're going to cross Florence and then continue and enjoy the day. And that's it for today. I hope you will enjoy this episode, and see you till next time. Thank you, Max.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. I'm signing off.